Well, we got a new slasher, and we're going to talk about it. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Enter the CineVault. Hard Eyes is the brand new horror slasher rom-com that's hitting theaters now, starring Mason Gooding as Jay, Olivia Holt as Allie, Jordana Brewster as Detective Shaw, and Devon Sawa as Detective Hobbs. Yeah, that's right, there's a Hobbs and Shaw reference in this. Overall, this is a fun rom-com slasher that weighs both concepts of the genres in a fairly balanced way. The comedy aspect doesn't overtake the horror, but it's used to break the tension until the horror does ramp back up. So Allie meets Jay at a coffee shop. They happen to order the same exact thing. And then after an awkward interaction of repeating each other's lines and then bumping heads a couple times, Allie runs out of the coffee shop and heads to work, where Jay is being brought in to work at her company to help boost them with a marketing campaign to boost the performance of the company that Allie works for. All the while, news reports are breaking on the news that this hard-eyed killer is in town who's been terrorizing previous towns before this. He's ended up in Boston and in Philadelphia and is now in Seattle, Washington. And he's wreaking havoc on any couples that are out trying to celebrate Valentine's Day and romance. So we have this interesting mix of like a standard horror slasher mixed with like a romance story, which that's okay, but not if you're there for the horror and the carnage candy that we're all there for. Next, I want to talk about the pacing. The pacing's done in a way where it's not too jarring, and for every intense chase and fight scene, you then break the tension and they allow the dialogue to kind of move forward and progress the story. Next, let's talk about the dialogue. The dialogue is a bit cheesy at times, but it's there to cater to that younger audience from about 17 to the early 20s, just to kind of make it modern and feel relevant to the times of today. But I feel like it's not too overdone across the stretch of the whole movie. Next, I want to talk about the kills because there's plenty. There's about 20 if I counted correctly, and they're broken up nicely between a nice balance of on screen, off screen, and quick one off kills to kind of just add to the body count. And then for the on screen kills, there's really no holding back on the gore because you really get it for those. The ending reveal and the motive. We do get a reveal at the end of who's behind this and their motive for doing this, but it kind of lacks that shock value and that punch that I think that they were going for. However, while it's slightly underwhelming, it does lead to a final fight between our main characters and who's behind this, all to see who comes out on top. We also get a mid-credit scene. It really doesn't do much except kind of open the door a little bit for possibly a sequel or some kind of follow-up. If I had to pick out my favorite scene, I would say it's definitely the police station attack, but that is the only time we actually see the killer with the light up hard eyes. And that was kind of disappointing because it was used for night vision, and I really feel like they could have utilized that a bit more. My overall ranking for the movie comes out at about a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10, just because it's lacking that wow factor that I was really hoping for to see in this. My final thoughts about the movie. It's a fun date movie, but I wouldn't really rush to the theater to go see this unless you really want to see it on the big screen. If not, you could probably have just as much fun streaming it. So thank you all for checking out my review of Hard Eyes. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, don't forget, watch more movies.